Okay, Cowboy concern levels. I'm going to read some players' names, and I'm going to ask you guys: are you concerned about these players going into the season? Is there a concern or not? You know, am I overreacting a little bit?
Oh no,
concerned or not?
Is there a concern for Tony Pollard?
1 out of 10. Things can happen, but I didn't think his injury was the kind that would have an impact in the following season. So I'm very low with Tony Pollard right now.
The only concern is whether or not he gets banged up again. I think from a production standpoint, he won't be skipping a beat. I think we're going to see the same Tony Pollard, but as the season wanes, will he be missing some time? I think most running backs end up missing some games.
Yeah, I don't have a concern with TP. I think he's looked really good. He was ahead of schedule in his recovery. I think he'll be fine. I mean, odds are, he probably misses a game or two, but I think they'll be fine.
I think he'll be fine too. How about Terrence Steele?
Terrence Steele's an interesting one. Like, we haven't gotten to see a ton of him. There's mild concern with Terrence Steele about how he looks removed from injury, but I'm still pretty confident that he's better than any other option they have.
Fair to Midland, about 6, 5.5, 6, somewhere in there.
What's your biggest concern about Terrence Steele?
Coming off, the kind of multi-ligament knee explosion that Gallup did and the way that he struggled to get back in year one. On top of that, he's not a good pass protector already. So now, you're talking about athleticism, balance, explosion to get out and be a factor in the run game, and you're coming off injury. I don't think he's going to be as good as he was the last 2 years. And he was already kind of hanging on by a thread as far as a guy that I liked having out there.
Chief?
I'm not overly concerned about him. I haven't seen anything that would give me that concern, and knowing the way he attacked the rehab and how hyped they were about how he was hitting his milestones much quicker, and we know the type of work ethic he has because we've seen him turn into a pretty dang good player when at first it was like this guy shouldn't be on a football field. So I feel confident he'll get back to being as close to what he was as possible.
How about DeMarcus Lawrence?
Very slim. Maybe a 2.5. For an edge, an end at that age, that's the only concern. He's tough. He's good. As long as he doesn't start to age out right in front of our very eyes, I think Tank will have a good year.
Yeah, and unless the back flares up, something like that. He is 31 years old. He's had those injuries before, but as a player, I still think he's one of the better players on your defense.
Yeah, I don't think there's any concern about Tank. I mean, we heard it's the best offseason he's had, maybe in the entire history of his career, which says a lot. He looks to be in great shape. I think we're going to get a really good version of Tank this year.
You think you're going to get the 17 games from him?
No. 14.
I don't know. Injuries are tough to predict. The likelihood is no.
Yeah, I'd bet no. But hopefully he doesn't have a back.
But right now I have nothing.
Blowout.
I mean, there's no reason for concern right now on injuries.
The thing that concerns me is it's gone too well for him right now.
You think he's due for?
I just hate to say I'm not. You said don't predict injuries and stuff, but he's had a really good. He's had a good camp. Now, please, gosh, don't let him go out today or something like that. I mean, we did with our 49er guy, that kind of thing. How about Damone Clark?
I'm super stoked about Damone Clark. I have no concern about him, as long as and if LVE is healthy. I mean, you've seen the difference that makes, but I think Damone Clark's going to take that next step.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. As long as LVE is there and he's the Robin to LVE's Batman there, then I feel really good about the progress that we've seen him make.
I mean, the serious injury, it's gone spinal. You fuse together vertebrae. I don't think I'll ever be at a 0 with him, but yeah, I'm like max at a 1.5 or a 2.
I feel like he's going to have a really big year. I wish that him and Overshown would have been able to play together a little bit. I think those two guys have a nose for the ball. I think Damone Clark is only going to get better. My final one real quick before we get out of here is DaRon Bland.
Oh, man, I would say a 0 out of 10. That sounds great. DaRon Bland playing inside, playing outside, coming off a big rookie year. This is excitement. This is like 9 out of 10 excitement that they found another really good corner on day 3.
Yeah, I haven't seen or heard anything about him taking a step back in year 2. He was fantastic last year, and so I'm excited for him to be one of the guys that takes another step and makes your defense that much more dominant.
No concern as long as he's playing inside in the slot. I have mild concern if he's got to kick outside and play the boundary.
Another guy that's had a really quiet training camp. Others have kind of shown up with PBUs and making plays and stuff like that.
But we haven't seen him getting worked.
No,
right?
No, but it's been very quiet.
No big plays.
Usually when
Can that be good for a corner?
I'm kind of feeling like I was hopeful that I would have seen a lot more plays this summer. So there's a little concern.
You're side-eyeing him a little bit?
I'm side-eyeing him because I feel like that, did we see his best last year?
Yeah.
It's a fair question to ask. I mean, you see guys come out of the gates and then it doesn't fully click. I mean, was Anthony Brown one of those guys?
He was.
Rookie year Anthony Brown was like, oh my gosh.
pick, outstanding rookie season, and then
there is that chance, but I'm not necessarily concerned about it.